You wake up, grab your phone, and start scrolling without thinking. You do the same things, live the same days, and at the end, it feels like you didn't move forward at all. Like time is passing, but you're not really living. And the worst part? You don't even realize when it started. Everything became automatic. Your choices, your habits, even your thoughts. You're not deciding anymore. You're just reacting. And that's why your life isn't changing. It's not a lack of ability. It's not a lack of time. It's because you're stuck on autopilot. But here's the truth almost no one tells you. You won't get out of this by trying to feel motivated. You need to break the pattern, interrupt the autopilot, and take back control of your own mind. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that in a simple, practical, and real way. No empty motivation, no pretty words, only what actually works. So let me ask you something. Are you living or just repeating the same days? Right now, I want you to think about your last 24 hours. Not what you planned to do, but what you actually did. How much of it was intentional, and how much of it just happened? You woke up, checked your phone, maybe opened social media without even thinking. One video turned into 5 turned into 30, and before you knew it, your day had already started without you. This is how the autopilot works. It doesn't feel dangerous, it doesn't feel wrong. In fact, it feels normal. That's why it's so powerful, because you don't question it. You don't stop and think, why am I doing this? You just do it. Again, and again, and again, and slowly, without noticing, you lose control over your own time. Not all at once, but in small moments. Minutes that turn into hours, days that turn into weeks, weeks that turn into years. And one day, you look back and realize you've been busy the whole time, but not moving forward. Let me tell you something that might be uncomfortable to hear. You are not lazy. You are programmed. Programmed by repetition. Programmed by convenience. Programmed by constant stimulation. Your brain learned that easy is better than hard, fast is better than slow, pleasure is better than effort. And now, it follows that pattern automatically. That's why you pick up your phone without thinking. You avoid difficult tasks. You delay what actually matters. Not because you want to fail, but because your brain is trying to protect you from discomfort. But here's the problem. The same system that protects you also keeps you stuck. Because growth doesn't come from comfort, it comes from awareness, from intention, from doing things on purpose. And right now, that's exactly what's missing. You're not choosing your actions are choosing you. Think about that. How many times have you said, I'll start tomorrow? I just need more motivation. I'll do it later. But later never comes. Because the version of you that says later is the same version stuck on autopilot. And until that changes, nothing else will. But here's the good news. The moment you become aware of it, you already start breaking the pattern. Awareness is the first step. Not action, not discipline. Awareness. Because you can't change what you don't see. And most people never stop long enough to see it. So before we go any further, I want you to be honest with yourself. No excuses, no distractions, just truth. How much of your life are you actually choosing right now? Because in the next part, we're going deeper. We're going to break down why your brain keeps you in this loop and why it feels almost impossible to escape. To understand how to get out of the autopilot, you first need to understand why it exists. Because this isn't random. Your brain didn't fail. It adapted. Your brain is built for one main purpose: to save energy and keep you safe. That's it. Not to make you successful, not to make you fulfilled, just to keep you alive, using the least amount of effort possible. And the way it does that is by creating patterns, habits, automatic behaviors. Think about it. If you had to consciously think about every single action you take every day, you would be exhausted. So your brain automates everything it can, brushing your teeth, walking, driving, even the way you think. And at first, that's useful. It saves energy. It makes life easier. But here's where things start to go wrong. Your brain doesn't know the difference between what's good for you and what's easy. So if something feels good, if it gives you quick pleasure, if it removes discomfort, your brain says, repeat this. And that's where the loop begins. Every time you check your phone, watch short videos, avoid a difficult task, your brain gets a reward, a small hit of dopamine. And dopamine is not just pleasure, it's learning. It tells your brain, this is important, do it again. So your brain listens. And it builds a shortcut. Next time, you don't think, you just react. That's autopilot. And the more you repeat it, the stronger it becomes. Until one day, you're no longer choosing the behavior, you're just following it. This is why it feels so hard to stop. It's not just a habit anymore, it's a wired pattern. And here's the part most people don't realize. The more you rely on fast, easy stimulation, the weaker your ability to focus becomes, because your brain gets used to instant rewards, constant novelty, zero effort. So when you try to do something that requires focus, patience, effort, your brain resists, not because you're incapable, but because it's not used to it anymore. That's why you sit down to work and feel restless. You try to focus and get distracted. You start something and quickly give up. Your brain is literally saying, this is too slow. Give me something easier. And if you keep feeding that pattern, it only gets worse. More distraction, less focus, less control, until your default state becomes escape. Escape into your phone, escape into entertainment, escape into anything that feels easier than reality. And that's how people spend years. Busy, distracted, but not progressing. But here's the most important thing you need to understand. This system can be rewired. Your brain is not fixed. It's adaptable. The same way it learned distraction, it can learn focus again. The same way it built the autopilot. You can break it, but not by force, not by motivation, by changing the pattern. And that's exactly what we're going to do next. Because in the next part, I'm going to show you where most people try to change, and why they fail before they even begin. Now that you understand how the autopilot works, there's something even more important you need to see. Why every time you try to change, it doesn't last. Because let's be honest, this isn't the first time you've tried. You've already said, I need to change. I'm going to be more focused. This time will be different. And maybe, for a few days, it was different. You had energy, you had motivation, you felt in control. But then, something happened. You got tired, distracted, overwhelmed, and slowly, you went back, not all at once, but little by little, until you were exactly where you started. And that creates a dangerous cycle. You try, you fail, you lose confidence, you stop trying. And the worst part? You start believing the problem is you. I don't have discipline. I'm just lazy. I can't stay consistent. But that's not the truth. The real reason you fail is because you're trying to fight the autopilot, using the wrong strategy. Let me explain. Mistake number 1. You rely on motivation. Motivation feels powerful. It gives you a temporary boost, but it's unstable. It comes and goes. So when you depend on motivation to change your life, you're building on something that won't last, and the moment motivation disappears, you stop. Mistake number 2. You try to change everything at once. You decide, no more distractions, no more phone, new routine, new life. And for a moment, it works. But your brain isn't ready for that level of change. So what happens? Resistance. You feel overwhelmed, drained, mentally exhausted, and your brain pulls you back to what's familiar, to what's easy, back to autopilot. Mistake number 3. You don't change your environment. You say you want to focus, but everything around you is designed to distract you. Your phone is random, notifications are on, apps are one tap away, and you expect yourself to resist all of that? That's not discipline, that's constant friction, and friction always wins in the long run. Mistake 4. You expect fast results. You try for a few days, and when you don't feel a huge difference, you stop. But your brain doesn't change that fast. You spent months, maybe years, building these patterns. You won't break them in 3 days. Mistake number 5. You don't understand the real problem. You think the problem is your phone's social media distractions. But those are just symptoms. The real problem is lack of awareness plus automatic behavior. And until you fix that, nothing else will change. Because even if you remove the distraction, your brain will find another one. That's what it was trained to do. The truth you need to accept. If you keep doing what you've always done, you'll keep getting the same result, not because you're incapable, but because you're repeating the same pattern, unconsciously, automatically. But here's where everything shifts. Change doesn't start with doing more. It starts with doing things differently, smaller, slower, more intentional. Because you're not trying to force change. You're trying to break the loop. And in the next part, we're going to start doing exactly that. Step by step, not with motivation, not with extremes, but with a system that actually works. At this point, you have the system. You know what to do. But here's what most people don't expect. The real challenge is not starting. It's not going back. Because the autopilot doesn't disappear. It waits. It waits for the moment you're tired, distracted, emotionally drained. And that's when it comes back. Not aggressively, but subtly. You tell yourself, just a quick break. Just a few minutes. I deserve this. And just like that, you're back in the loop. So if you want this to actually work, you need to recognize the traps before they happen. Trap number 1. I'm doing better now. This one is dangerous. You start improving. You feel more focused, more in control. And then you think, I don't need to be that strict anymore. So you relax just a little. But that little is enough, because the old pattern is still there, waiting. And once you give it space, it grows again. What to do instead? Stay aware. Progress doesn't mean you're free. It means you're getting stronger. Trap number 2, emotional escape. This is the biggest one. You don't go back because you want distraction. You go back because you want relief. Stress, anxiety, boredom, frustration, and your brain remembers this will make you feel better. So you escape into your phone, into content, into anything that removes that feeling. What to do instead? Don't escape immediately. Sit with the discomfort, even for a few seconds. That's how you break the dependency. Trap number 3, just this once. This is how the loop restarts. You don't fall back in one big decision, you fall back in small ones. One time won't matter. I'll get back on track tomorrow. But tomorrow becomes later, and later becomes never. What to do instead? Take small decisions seriously, because patterns are built from repetition. Trap number 4, losing awareness. This is the root of everything. You don't go back because you choose to. You go back because you stop paying attention. The pause disappears. The awareness fades. And suddenly, you're back on autopilot, without even noticing. What to do instead? Keep checking yourself. Throughout the day, ask, am I choosing this or just reacting? That question alone can pull you out instantly. Trap number 5, expecting perfection. This one makes people quit. You slip once and think, I ruined everything, so you give up. But that's not how this works. Change is not linear. You will have bad days, moments of distraction. That doesn't erase your progress. What to do instead? Reset quickly. Don't wait for tomorrow. Don't wait for Monday. Reset in the moment, because the faster you recover, the stronger you become. The real battle. This is not a battle against your phone or social media. It's a battle for your attention, because where your attention goes, your life follows. And if you don't control it, something else will. Now everything comes down to one thing: a decision, because you already know what's happening, why it's happening, and how to fix it. The only question left is, are you actually going to do it? And in the final part, we're going to close this in a way that makes that decision clear. At this point, you already know everything you need. You understand the autopilot. You see the patterns. You know exactly what's been holding you back. So now, this is no longer about information. It's about a decision, because nothing changes until you decide to change. Right now you have two paths. You can close this video, go back to your privilege. Let me continue properly. You can close this video, go back to your routine, pick up your phone, scroll without thinking, and repeat the same day, again, and again, and again. Or you can do something different. Not something big, not something perfect, something intentional. Because change doesn't start with a huge action. It starts with a small interruption, a moment where you stop and choose. That's it. That's where your new life begins. Not tomorrow, not next week. Right now, after this video ends, the next action you take matters more than anything you've heard here. Because that action will show you the truth. Are you in control or still on autopilot? Let me be real with you. No one is coming to fix this for you. No video, no hack, no motivation. It's you and the choices you make when no one is watching. So here's what I want you to do. When this video ends, don't touch your phone. Just sit there for a few seconds in silence and ask yourself, what do I actually want to do right now? Not what's easy, not what's automatic, what you choose. Because if you can take control of that one moment, you can take control of your life. And if you're serious about changing, I want you to do one more thing. Comment below. I choose control. Not for me. For you. Because the moment you say it and mean it, you're no longer on autopilot. Your life doesn't change in a day, but the direction of your life, that can change in a single decision. And that decision is yours. Wake up or stay the same.